is Friday Night Fanstand.
All right, howdy, Austin. It's the new 96.3 and 1370s Friday Night Fanstand. I'm Jonathan Daniel. This is Chris Sanchez. About to have a lot of fun digging into week 2, but on a serious note, we do want to say our thoughts and prayers are with those who were affected by the wildfires a couple of days ago, Chris.
Yeah, absolutely. We got some game cancellations out of this, but of course, first things first, take care of your family, take care of your property.
All right, Fanstand Big Ten, let's jump into it. Wimberley coming in at number 10. That game was just recently announced as canceled by head coach Weldon Nelms. The game versus Smithville will now not happen, but Wimberley looks strong, Chris.
Yeah, and they're getting into the Big Ten last week. They're staying in the Big Ten. Really love what Brady Lambert is doing out there. So they get a week off. It's good, at this point in the season. So they'll be able to go ahead and get ready for next week.
Number 9, Vandergrift Vipers, and number 8, Stony Point Tigers. The Vipers will be taking on Bernie in what should be an emotional first game at home, especially after the wildfires that affected Steiner Ranch in the 4 Points area.
Yeah, the wildfires affected a lot of areas here in the Central Texas, and Vandergrift is going to get back onto the playing field against a Bernie team that's not too bad, but I expect Vandergrift to win this game.
All right, Stony Point, their game canceled against Monterey Tech. They're a little banged up after that game at San Antonio Wagner, but still at number 8, even at 1-1.
Yeah, number 8, they're not out of the Big Ten yet. They're getting there, but the cancellation comes at a good point for Stony Point.
All right, Georgetown, one of the surprises of the season, 2-0 so far. The junior Jake Hubenak, 4 touchdowns. His Eagles come in at 7. They'll have their toughest defensive matchup against Anderson on Thursday.
Yeah, this is going to be offense versus defense. It's going to be Anderson's defense, Georgetown's offense. Going to be a great game. I look forward to it.
9 total turnovers forced by the Anderson defense so far. Fanstand Big Ten on the new 96.3 and 1370 Friday Night Fanstand. Number 6, Connolly Cougars, 2-0, facing a team that thinks they should be 2-0 themselves, the Del Valle Cardinals.
Yeah, Del Valle's had 2 close losses. Connolly's had to come from behind in both of their victories. So we'll see how this game plays out, if Del Valle gets to a lead or if Connolly comes out strong in the beginning.
Hutto Hippos, McCallum Knights will play on Friday, and Hutto comes in at number 5 on our Fanstand Big Ten, 2-0. Ryan Higgins and that defense combining to really create a balanced attack.
Yeah, they do have a balanced attack, and Hutto's going to face their biggest challenge in McCallum this week. It's going to be an exciting game for the Hippos and the Knights.
Anderson coming in at number 4. We talked about Georgetown and Anderson. Cedar Park at Leander. This one interesting. The Timberwolves now at number 3 after shell-shocking Ellison last week, 52-0. But I want to say Leander, you don't count them out.
No, not at all. And this is a rivalry game. Cedar Park at Leander is going to be at Bible. It's a huge community game, especially with all that's going on out there in Leander.
All right, Chris, your alumnus, or your former stomping grounds, Westwood Warriors, coming in at number 2, 2-0. They make mincemeat of the Bowie Bulldogs, and they get Austin High in a Thursday tilt.
Yeah, this is going to be an exciting game for Austin High and for Westwood. Austin High is 0-2, but they're a decent team. They're a good team. They just have a little struggles on defense, and Westwood's going to give them some more struggles with the offensive attack they have.
All right, lastly, our top team, the Lake Travis Cavaliers at 2-0, facing an Aledo team that ended something special for them last year.
Yeah, it was a 48-game winning streak, and Aledo, of course, Jonathan Gray, the UT commit. What more can you say about that kid? He's Mr. Do-It-All. So this is going to be an exciting game for the Cavaliers. See if they can get the Bearcats back for the loss last year.
All right, wide receiver Colin Lagasse expected back for that game. You Cavalier fans will remember this is when he rose to prominence when Michael Brewer was hurt. He came in and played quarterback. Baker Mayfield doing big things for them. Zach Austin, a lot of that 7-on-7 summer work coming into play. They're number 1 on the Fanstand Big Ten. All right, just a quick note, coaches that we'll have on Coach's Corner featuring former Cedar Park head coach Mark Weaver. We'll have the offensive coordinator of the Lake Travis Cavaliers, David Collins, as well as Elgin head coach Wade Griffin, and we'll have a little word with Vandergrift Vipers head coach Drew Sanders. Okay, games of the week quickly. Chris, run down the list.
District 15, 5A, we've got Anderson and Georgetown. Of course, tomorrow's going to be a great game. Snoop, what do you think about that one?
All right, Anderson, Georgetown, again, defense, offense. It's going to be a close one. We say one-possession game. District 16, 5A, Cedar Park, Leander. Lions came close to beating Converse Judson last game, lost 21-14, but they were in it late.
Yeah, they had DeSoto the first week, and then Converse Judson. Now they got Cedar Park. That's number 3 in the row, a monster program. But Leander, they can do this. I think they'll give Cedar Park a great game.
All right, Hutto at McCallum 164A. Hutto, that offense has been getting it going on the ground with Greg Petrie and Tay Howard. His emergence has really been big for the Hippos. What are your thoughts on that game?
Well, it's going to be two quarterbacks for me. It's going to be Ryan Higgins and Braylon Cannon. So whoever plays better, gets more touchdowns, obviously is going to win the game.
All right, Lake Travis at Alito. We talked about that's our game of the week for 25-4A, 26-4A. LBJ at Connolly. Secretly one of my favorite games. LBJ with a tremendous upset win against Manor. Mustangs miss a 2-point conversion. They go on to win that game. You have to wonder if there's any kind of deflation against Connolly, who's been the comeback kids.
No, this is going to be a lot of athletes out there on the field. It's going to be a fast, quick game. It's going to be high scoring. So it's going to be probably one of our more exciting games. So be sure to stick with us to get all the updates.
All right, we put about 35 teams on our back door. Friday Night Fanstand on Facebook and Twitter. Search us in the social network. We're covering Central Texas football like no one else. The new 96.3 and 1370 Friday Night Fanstand.